Need some coins for that God Squad you've always wanted? Check out redzonecoins.com for cheap and fast coins. You can use code ZERK for 10% off at checkout. Get 1,000,000 coins for $45.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
What's going on, guys? It's Zirksee at you today with another YouTube video, and today I want to talk to you guys about Madden 21 team captains. I tried to kind of narrow it down, do some predictions / who I think would actually just be a good team captain total. We've had 2 years of team captains, Madden 19, Madden 20, so I tried to kind of base it off of the players they went with, the positions they went with, and let me know down below who you guys would like to see as a team captain in Madden 21. Now, I also want to give a shout out to Swan2K for being a part of the Noti Gang. If you guys want a chance to be shout out in the next video, drop a like in the vid, make sure you guys are subbed to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and comment down below Noti Gang. Also want to give a big shout out to anyone who has decided to become a member of the channel. If you guys want to become a member, you can check out all of the extra benefits and everything you get down below. Just click the join button and you'll be able to see all the benefits like early sneak peeks at coin investment videos, best players to invest in, that type of stuff, and then there's other stuff in there as well. If you see one with like a Z logo next to the name, that means they're a member in the comment section. But if you want to check it out, you can. There is absolutely no need to. But let's go ahead and get into this because I want to kind of explain my picks for who I think will potentially be a team captain in Madden 21 based off of the past couple of years. So as you guys can see, this is Madden 19 and these are the players that we actually got. So keep track here, right, of the positions and also the players. So with Madden 19, I feel like they went a little bit more towards players that were kind of big names, like players we get really excited about every single time they come out. Ray Lewis is always one of those guys that we are very excited about getting a new card. Also, Michael Strahan. I personally love Michael Strahan cards. I feel like he always plays super good. Shannon Sharpe is always one of the best tight ends in the game, and Jerry Rice, one of the better wide receivers in the game. But something I really want to focus on here when it comes to my Madden 21 predictions as well, although these players are all very sought after cards, right? We're not getting the Calvin Johnson, we're not getting the Randy Mosses of the world, but we're getting like that very next step. At least in Madden 19 we did anyways, right? I think Shannon Sharpe is basically top of the line when it comes to tight end legends. Michael Strahan, again, kind of top of the line for defensive ends, and then Ray Lewis kind of top of the line for middle linebacker. So just keep that in mind, but let me show you Madden 20 to see how it kind of changed a little bit. Now this, of course, is from Madden 20, aka this year. Now, I think it's kind of fair to say that they took a little bit of a step down in terms of the player selection. Let me kind of explain that, right? So last year, we got a defensive end instead of a cornerback. We got Michael Strahan, who was top of the line defensive lineman. Tons of people use him. This year, we got a corner instead of a defensive lineman, and we got Ty Law. Now, Michael Strahan is basically top of the line when it comes to defensive ends. Ty Law, for corners, it's basically Deion Sanders, Champ Bailey, and then everything underneath him, right? Ty Law is kind of in that second tier. He's a great corner. People always pick him up. And something else you guys need to keep in mind is that with these team captains, these players get other cards. Except for Ryan Chazier, he did not get any other card this year. So if you didn't choose him for your team captain, you didn't get him. So the only thing that actually changed, because we did get a middle linebacker again, we got a tight end again, and we got a wide receiver again, is instead of doing a D lineman, they went with a corner in Ty Law. Now, obviously for Ryan Chazier, this was a awesome selection. I wish he would come back from Madden 21, but I'm not going to have him on my predictions because I just don't know if they're going to bring him back. I feel like they wouldn't do him 2 years in a row. Hopefully he gets a card because obviously Chazier is one of the best user cards in Madden history. Now as for tight end though, right? Now we're down to Dallas Clark, which I'm going to be honest here, and I think a lot of people can agree with me. He's not on the level of Shannon Sharpe, Tony G, those type of guys, right? He's underneath them. I think that's fair to say. And the same thing when it comes to Herman Moore. When these cards, if they put out an LTD Herman Moore, if they put out an LTD Dallas Clark, an LTD Ty Law, we're not really going crazy for it as if they put out an LTD Deion or an LTD Calvin Johnson or an LTD Tony Gonzalez, right? Gronkowski even. I think that's pretty fair to say. So you can see they kind of went down to that second tier of hype for these players, right? And if they did that on purpose, obviously, I feel like because some people, if they have the team captains, then you're not going to pick up the other card because you can't use duplicate cards. So they didn't want to give you someone like the Randy Moss or Calvin Johnson because you can't use that card then. And if you wanted to pick up the LTD Calvin Johnson and all you have is the Mud Captain Calvin Johnson, then the stats aren't going to be the same. You're going to feel left out. So that's why they did it like this. Now let me go over my Madden 21 predictions based off of how they did it here. Now, for the last 2 years, we have always gotten ourselves a wide receiver, tight end, and middle linebacker, and I'm also going to be doing one corner and one defensive end prediction because I don't know what they're going to do. But as you guys can see, for wide receiver, I decided Andre Reed is a pretty solid pick. So the past 2 years, we've gotten players like Jerry Rice. This year, we got Herman Moore. Taking a look at the list of receivers, again, we're not going to get Moss. I don't think we're going to get Calvin Johnson. Aside from those guys, unless they bring in some new legend wide receiver, I'm basing this off of what legends were in Madden 20. People, I think they probably still have the right sub. Andre Reed, I think, would be a solid pick. He's not like a super hyped up player, but he's solid. He can definitely get some work done for you. I was also looking at Steve Largent, but I feel like they'll probably go with maybe a little bit taller guy in Andre Reed. I feel like people kind of care about Andre Reed a little bit more than Steve Largent. So to me, I think Andre Reed makes sense. Let me know down below what you think about Andre Reed. And as for tight ends, I don't believe that they are going to go a different route and go with, say, Tony Gonzalez, because they have already done Shannon Sharp, and this year they kind of took that step down and they gave us Dallas Clark. Now, honestly, looking at the other tight ends that are available, I mean, we have Gronkowski, Tony Gonzalez. I feel like they may bring in a different tight end to give us, honestly, but I think Kellen Winslow kind of makes sense, right? Winslow's a really, really good card, so it's kind of hard to say Winslow because I actually feel like Winslow is kind of in that top tier for tight ends, but he always kind of slacks off towards the end of the year when EA comes to give him upgrades. I feel like everyone always has, Tony Gonzalez, George Kittle nowadays, Darren Waller, Shannon Sharp. They don't really use Kellen Winslow towards the end of the year, so I think Winslow makes sense here. Now, I will say they have really given us like a lot of good middle linebackers with Ryan Chazier and Ray Lewis, and as much as I wish it would be Patrick Willis, I don't think it's going to be Patrick Willis. I feel like more than likely it is going to be Jesse Tuggle or Brian Urlacher, but again, I feel like Urlacher's kind of on that Ray Lewis level of hype there, so if they want to go underneath that, I think Tuggle fits in perfect. He's not a crazy user card. On a 99 overall, he only had 92 speed, 92 excel. He's good against the run though, with 99 tackling, 98 pursuit, 96 block shed, 96 hit power. He's a good, solid card. Honestly, I really hope they decide to go with a hype position for middle linebacker they had with Ryan Chazier and Ray Lewis, and maybe give us Patrick Willis, but we'll see. Now, as for my defensive end selection, I went through the defensive ends, and I was really looking at players like Julius Peppers, but I think he's at the top of the hype chain, honestly. And, of course, Michael Strahan's at the top of the hype chain, Reggie White. I tried to look at a defensive end that we get excited about sometimes, depending on the time of the year that he comes out and his stats, but we're not going to go crazy for him as an LTD. And I think that's Deacon Jones. I don't think Deacon Jones has way too much hype surrounding him, but he has 80 speed, 88 excel, 95 block shed, 96 power move, at a 97 overall. Deacon is a good card. Deacon is definitely a really good card every single year that he comes out. I think that he would fit in here good. And as for my cornerback selection, if they decide to go with a corner, I think Rod Woodson would actually be perfect. Now, Rod Woodson, I will say this, he is almost like he is definitely top of tier 2 if we're talking about terms of hype. You have Dion, you have Champ Bailey, and then I feel like Rod Woodson's like third. Honestly, I really feel like Rod Woodson is like third there. They could go with someone like Mel Blount potentially. Darryl Green would actually be a pretty good one as well, but I feel like Rod Woodson makes sense. I think Rod Woodson makes pretty good sense here. He's 6 feet tall, good physical cornerback. I feel like people would be pretty interested in going with him. Now, out of all of the choices that I just mentioned to you guys, if they decided to make these players the team captains, honestly, it would depend on Jesse Tuggle's speed for me, but I think I would either go with Jesse Tuggle or Rod Woodson. I'm not a huge fan of going with a wide receiver, especially if we do get someone like Andre Reed. I think this year, obviously I went with Chazier this year, but last year, If I remember correctly, I want to say I went with Jerry Rice. I think I went with Jerry in Madden 19. So hopefully we get some pretty good players. But let me know down below who you guys think we'll get as our team captain players in Madden 21. I hope you did enjoy the video, and if you did, make sure you guys drop a like on the video, and of course hit that sub button down below. Also, we don't really know if we're going to get another corner or if they'll switch it up and go defensive end. That's why I put Rod and also Deacon on this list. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys next time.